Hi, this is Kevin from the Local Tech, and today I'm going to show you the best way to install Linux. Make a note, you will need a USB thumb drive with at least 4 gigs of free space. This video is going to have 4 parts to it, and the first part is going to be how to download the Linux ISO. The second part is going to be how to download and install Balena Etcher. This is going to be the utility we use to write the Linux ISO file to the USB thumb drive. Third part is how to create the Linux USB thumb drive with Balena Etcher. The fourth part is going to be how we install Linux. This next page, these are the URLs we're going to use to download the Linux ISO file and the URL we use to download Balena Etcher. All right, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to want to do is to download our Ubuntu ISO file. So let's head on over to Ubuntu's website. We're going to want to click the download button up here, and we're going to go with the 22.04 LTS version. Once you get to this screen, you should see it start to download. But I already have it downloaded, so I'm not going to wait for it to download. Now let's move on to the second part. This is where we're going to download Balena Etcher. And we're going to go to this green download button. Now, if you're on a Mac, it will download the proper install for a Mac. If you're on Linux, it'll download the proper install for Linux. I'm on Windows, so it will download the proper install file for my Windows system. Now, it doesn't take very long to download. Once it's finished, go ahead and click on the download. I'm going to click on agree. And here we are. We are ready to create the USB flash drive. So, to get started on creating the Linux flash drive, we're going to want to click this blue flash from file. Navigate to where you downloaded the file to. Here's our Ubuntu ISO file. Click on open. Now, this has already selected my flash drive. Now I'm going to click on the flash button. You may get this prompt. Go ahead and click on yes. All right, now this is where we get to wait for the process to happen, finish. This may take a little while. It all depends on how fast your computer is. So sit tight, and I will get back to you once it's finished. All right, we can now see that the thumb drive is finished creating. So now we can move on to installing Ubuntu. All right, let's get to installing Ubuntu on your computer. I am going to be installing Ubuntu on a virtual machine for this tutorial, but it's pretty similar to installing it on a physical machine. First, you'll want to plug in your USB thumb drive into the computer you want to install Linux on, but make sure the computer is off. And then you turn on your laptop, and while it's turning on, you're going to want to mash whichever key gets you to your BIOS or your boot menu. This depends on the make of the manufacturer of your laptop or desktop. I know for HP systems, if you mash the F9 key at startup, it will take you to the boot option. F10 takes you to the BIOS setup. On Lenovo laptops, on the side of the laptop, sometimes there's a little button you press. You need a little like a pin to get in there, and that will boot you right into the BIOS, and you can select which device you want to boot first. Um, Other systems, you may have to press either delete or the escape key, sometimes tab, but you're going to want to look that up depending on the make and model of your laptop. All right, let's get to it. And when you get to that boot menu, you're going to want to select the USB device and not your hard drive. So when you boot to the USB device, you get to the live version of Ubuntu. So I already have my virtual machine created. Now let's install Ubuntu on it. All right. Once you get booted up to your live instance of Ubuntu, let's get to the installing process. So choose your keyboard's layout. I'm going to choose English and English US. Click on continue. Apps would you like to install with this to start with? I'm going to choose normal installation. It'll have everything you need in there. Other options. So you can choose to install updates so you don't have to do too much updating after you install the Ubuntu operating system. Now, if you have a fancy graphics card in your system, you may want to select this. It will install the appropriate software for your uh, graphics card and some other hardware you might have in your system. Click on continue. Now, since we're installing Ubuntu on the entire hard drive, I'm going to choose erase disk and install Ubuntu. So this is going to delete everything on your hard drive. Um, if there's anything on there on your hard drive you don't want to lose, make sure you copy it to some place that you won't lose it, either a cloud storage, a thumb drive, external hard drive. Make sure you don't lose the important data you need. But we're going to go with install now. This is just going to warn you that anything on your drive is going to be overwritten and gone forever. Now, it is possible to install Linux alongside Windows, but for the sake of simplicity on this tutorial, I'm not going to cover that. I might cover it in another video. Just like and subscribe to my channel so you get alerted in case I do make that video. But here, this is where we're going to choose the time zone. I'm on the East Coast of the United States, so I'm choosing New York. Click continue. Now, this is where you get to create your username. The name of my account is going to be Kevin. You can also name your computer here. So you can name it whatever you'd like. So since it's an Ubuntu VM, I'm going to call it Ubuntu VM. Super original. Pick your username. Usually, this part pre-fills your username as the name of your profile. So this is where you get to create a password for this profile. I always like to require password at login. You can choose to log in automatically, but I don't recommend it. Click on continue. And that use Active Directory checkbox you saw, I'm not going to cover that in this tutorial. That's a little beyond the scope of this tutorial. While it's installing, you can click through some of the features Ubuntu has to offer. These are some apps that are installed by default. This is where we actually get to restart the computer. Restart. As a side note, you do want to make sure you remove your thumb drive from the computer before you restart. So if you don't take it out, then the computer might not restart. And here we are. We have installed Ubuntu on our system and log in with our password. There you go. We're installed and logged in. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.